Hi, I'm Bill Walker. I wanted to spend a few minutes with you to explain to you why it is that I'm running for the governor of this state. Alaska is my home. I'm born and raised here. I love Alaska, and I love what Alaska has allowed me to do and the opportunities that Alaska has provided to me. I'm running for governor because I want to make sure the same opportunities that I have had in Alaska are available to our children, your children, and grandchildren. I became involved in this process looking at the gas pipeline following the completion of the oil pipeline. In the late 70s, for a period of time, I was mayor of Valdez when I was 28. At that point, a gas pipeline was anticipated would be following close behind. In fact, so closely behind, some members of the union in which I was working in at the time stopped working on the oil line to be on a higher out-of-work list for the gas pipeline. And that was 35 years ago. So that was my beginning. I was asked to join a group of Alaskans. It was called the Organization for the Management of Alaska's Resources. It's now the Resource Development Council. And on our first trip to the lower 48 to meet with Governor Brown in California to talk about the All-Alaskan route, the gas line from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez to liquefaction, and at that point off to California. In the mid-'80s, no gas line was coming forth, and certain companies had attempted to. Governor Hammond appointed a committee of two governors, Governor Hickel and Governor Egan, to work on the Gasline project. He felt that those are two statesmen that could get the job done, and so they began that effort, and they began working on and basically took over where the El Paso project left off and put together a company called Yukon Pacific Corporation. They worked diligently, spent nearly $100 million, the company, to garner permits and licenses, etc., environmental impact studies, right-of-ways, what you would need to bring the All-Alaskan gas pipeline to Tidewater at Valdez, and thereby getting gas to Alaskans and to the world market. Since that time, there have been a number of other efforts of incentives to have a gas line built. There's been some proposals to create a disincentive if you don't ship gas. None of those have resulted in a gas pipeline. To put this in perspective, Alaska, we're blessed with we're a natural resource state. Under our Constitution, we're required to develop our resources to the maximum benefit of Alaskans. Now, to me, that means to the maximum benefit of Alaskans in their daily lives. That means that doesn't mean just large budget surpluses in Juneau. It means that the cost of energy in Kotzebue and in Sitka and in Bethel is a reasonable price, and not necessarily index of the world market plus the cost of freight to those locations. We have seen some extremely high energy costs across Alaska, and I just don't think as a state that has as much energy, natural resources as we have, that's really in full compliance with the intent of the Constitution. Okay. We're very fortunate with the volume of natural gas we have on the North Slope. We re-inject every day gas that comes out with the oil as part of the oil production. We re-inject 8.4 billion cubic feet of gas a day. Now, what that equates to, that's more gas than is used in the state of California, Oregon, and Washington on a daily basis. So that's a huge volume of gas. A portion of that gas, a large portion of that gas, is used to repressurize the field so the oil will continue to flow. But a portion of that is available to come off of the North Slope at this time for a gas line. So now is the time that the gas coming off the slope would not impair the throughput of oil. In fact, and some say it would actually increase it somewhat. At the same time, I'm very concerned that while 80% of our budget is made up of the revenues as a result of the throughput on taps of oil coming down the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline, that volume has dropped from a high of 2.1 million barrels a day down to, right now it's just under 600,000 barrels a day. And typically it's a little higher than that, but so that's a significant drop in throughput, and as that continues to go on, they will reach a point at some point when it's no longer economic to bring oil off the North Slope. That's a non-renewable resource, obviously, and if we need to replace that non-renewable resource, which is declining very quickly. If we don't get a gas line going and we miss the market opportunity as other countries are getting their gas to market, then we have nothing to replace that very large piece of our annual budget.